Hi, I'm back. Never mind the things. We are in the middle of moving. We're actually moving in 3 weeks. And this is literally all that I have packed. So, things are busy, which is why I have not really come back. After, I don't even know, like maybe 2 months. I don't know. But yeah, so things have been happening. It's been 6 months since surgery. I had surgery on December 12th. Yeah, December 12th, 2022. Today is the 22nd of June. So it's been 6 months and 10 days since surgery. Things are going in whatever direction. I had my 6-month check-in appointment with my at the bariatric clinic last week, and I just got my labs done. They wanted to check my levels and all of that stuff last week. So I'll talk about that and just kind of generally what the process has been like for me. So I guess it's not the most important thing. Let me recenter that. The thing that at one point for me felt like the most important thing, and also for other folks who are on this journey, like one of the most important things is weight, right? I have felt compared to, well, no, let me answer the question. So since surgery, I have lost just about 80 pounds. But in total, like from basically a year ago, because a year ago is when I kind of started, not this process, but I started losing weight, kind of. But so from a year ago, I have lost 130 pounds. Yes, 130 pounds almost, because I had lost just about 50 pounds between this time last year and when I had surgery. So 130 pounds in a year, but 80 pounds since surgery. So if we're counting since surgery, I feel like I'm a slow loser. I think compared to where I've seen kind of other people who are on YouTube is primarily where I watch people's journeys with VSG. It's usually VSG. I had gastric bypass, but so many people online have had VSG, so those are primarily the people that I've been following. But anyway, compared to those girlies, I feel like I'm a slow loser because I've only technically lost 80 pounds since surgery. And by 6 months, a couple of the people that I've watched were around like 100 pounds, or maybe some are even more, like whatever. So maybe I'm not comparing myself to like realistic people, because my doctor said that they think I'm right in the middle of like where they would expect me to have lost after surgery. So I'm just gonna let it be. The weight thing has been an interesting, kind of annoying part of this process, but like all the other benefits have been really great. So I'm gonna move on from weight and talk about the other things that, the other progress that I've made in the last 6 months. So I mentioned, oh, should I say like my actual numbers? My highest weight was 391. Okay. On the app, on my weight app, I can't remember the name of the app I use. I think it's called Berrytastic, probably. I think the weight that I have on there as my highest weight was 391, because that's the highest weight that I remember seeing. But I actually think it might have been higher than that at some point, but whatever. The weight that I use on the app is 391. And right now, this morning I was 267, I think. 267. So big difference, I guess, but slow for me. So moving on to other things. I mentioned I had my 6-month check-in, so I had all my blood work done, and excited that short of, I think I had a vitamin D, my vitamin D levels were low, and I think there was another one, was vitamin D, vitamin A, and yeah, those are the two things that were low. And then something else was affected by those low numbers. Like, I think it was like one of those para something thyroid, some level was also low, but they said that was because my vitamin D levels were low. So, they told me take a vitamin D supplement, but everything else was good. Like my blood sugar, cholesterol, blood pressure, like the big ones were good. So that's so exciting. Really excited about that, focusing on kind of the like new health things that are really good. So I feel really good about that, even though the weight is a little slow to me. Other things that have come up in the last 6 months. So really in the last 4 months, I've been really going hard in the gym. I've become a gym girly, which is so exciting. And so I've I think I've gained 10 pounds of muscle in the last 3 months, because I have a scale that like does the body fat percentage and like breaks down how much weight is muscle and blah, blah, blah. So I've been tracking that along with the weight. And so my muscle mass has gone up 10 pounds, which is huge. So even though in my opinion, my weight has been a little slow because of the muscle gain plus the weight loss, like my body looks very different than obviously it did before. So I'm really excited. The surgery in general was primarily weight, health focused for me. So, and not necessarily weight focused. So the fact that I'm at a place where my health is good, minus a few like vitamin deficiencies, and I'm able to like, for the most part, my body is able to do what my spirit or my soul or my brain wants it to be able to do, has been really exciting. So at this point, kind of any additional changes that happen are kind of like cherries on top, because I've done the thing that I needed it for. So that's exciting. What else? So I've been going to the gym regularly. I've been skating. That's a new skill that I've been working on. I wanted to learn how to skate. I've always wanted to. I've always thought that the people who like jam, skate, and like groove are so cool. And then also like the girlies who are outside with their like flowers and their like shorts or their flare pants, like skating, feeling the vibes. I've always thought it looked really cool. Skating has been something that has always been really difficult for me to do. Like I've not been able to control my weight distribution on the skate. I don't know, like anytime I would even look at skates, I would be on the ground. Like I could not skate. I've never been able to. The last time I really tried to skate was maybe like 6 years ago. No, 5 years ago. Yeah, like 2018. I went to a skate thing for my birthday and it was a disaster. And no. Then I bought skates maybe 2 years ago, a year and a half ago. Same time I bought some for my oldest. And he learned how to skate in that year. I got on the skates maybe 2 or 3 times, fell every time, put them down. But about 2 months ago, I started skating because I had to go to a birthday party that had skates, and I was like, let me just try to get on the skates. Let me see, what's the vibe now that I've lost a little weight. I'm in the gym. I'm able to I have good control of my body. Let's give it a try. And it's been amazing. I love it. For a while, I was going every day. Now that it's hot, we're in a hot place. I ain't going outside to skate, so it's a little more difficult to get out every day. So I try to go once or twice a week, either early morning outside or if I have some time early morning, mid morning, I'll go to the skating rink. So that's what I did yesterday. It was really fun. So skating, working out. Food for me has been touch and go. Like, I have some theories on this self-diagnosed slow losing problem that I have. I think, primarily food has probably been the most difficult part of the process for me, has been like eating enough, and probably like what I'm eating. I go back and forth between like missing breakfast or by the time dinner comes, I'm not hungry, or I haven't planned out the day, and then the day just kind of rolls past and I end up eating a collection of like random things, like pieces of a charcuterie, so like some meat and some cheese and maybe some grapes, a couple of pita crackers or something. Like, I keep ending up doing that, and so I do want to get to a place where I'm better about like eating very intentionally, like 3 times a day with like actual food items, because I feel like that may be the key to speeding things up, or could be that I'm perfectly fine and my body this is how it wants to lose weight. It just wants to, do like a slow and steady type of situation. Typically lose probably between 10 and 15 pounds a month, and it's just kind of been pretty steady in that pace. And within the month, I find that I stall for 2 or 3 weeks. My body does like rechanges, and then I lose like 5 pounds, and then wait 2 or 3 weeks and lose 5 pounds. Like, that's how my process has been this whole time. So I just kind of let it do its thing. But yeah, food is something that I want to work on, along with water. The first 3 months, I went in for my first 3-month check-in. I had lost a lot more than they anticipated. I think I was at 50 pounds maybe at 3 months, and they told me I need to eat more carbs. So I started eating more carbs in the last 3 months, and my weight loss hasn't actually changed. It sped up or slowed down. It's just kind of been steady where it is regardless. But I do eat a lot of Cheez-Its. Why did I share that? I don't know. Cheez-Its is like my little treat. These little things of Cheez-Its. I always have them around me. I don't know. But yeah, so beyond that, I'd like to be more consistent with like eating real dinner food items. So that's a goal. Things are a little crazy now because we're moving. So, hopefully when we get settled, things will become more settled with my food as well. Let's see. What else? Oh, like I said, I went to my doctor's appointment, my 6-month appointment last week. The other thing, this time they didn't tell me that I needed to increase my carb count, but they told me something, vitamin D deficiency, vitamin A deficiency, and then I said something about a parathyroid or something. And they said that for that, I need to increase my healthy fat intake. Like, I'm not having enough fat, which is why I need to focus on another reason why I need to focus on intentionally eating real food items and not just defaulting to a protein shake or a random piece of chicken or, like random things that aren't like a thoughtful, cohesive meal that has like the fiber, the protein, the fat, the carb, like everything that I need in like a real meal. I need to kind of transition into that, because this piecemeal focus on just protein, or, whatever, is not like, I'm not at that stage anymore. I need to start thinking about like, what is this going to look like as a real person in the world long term. So I think that'll be my focus for the next half of this year. Other things, other non-scale victories. Well, the health thing is huge. Like, for the most part, being good. Like, the big things that were concerns of mine are not anymore, or at least not now. My blood sugar numbers are good, blood pressure, all of that. So those are huge, the non-scale victories. As far as clothes are concerned, I haven't yet really purchased clothes. I really honestly am, that's probably been the saddest part of this process, is like getting rid of all of my clothes, like literally all of my clothes. Literally all of my clothes. That has been kind of traumatic, and I feel like when folks are talking about this process, and like the change that you go through in the last year, or in the year or 2 years, or however long the process of weight loss is for you, people kind of frame the change in your body as like a positive, exciting, like, yes, you get to try new clothes, you get to go to new stores, and you can buy stuff in the store, and da 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 da, and like, so exciting, blah blah blah. But for me, I felt like the process of having a whole new style of clothes, because you have the opportunity to start over, and like getting rid of all of your clothes, for me it's like almost every month new things stop fitting and I have to like give them away, has been kind of sad. I would consider myself a fashion girl, to an extent, and so I've spent a lot of time, especially as a fat person, like spent a lot of time and been really intentional about curating my wardrobe. Like, since college, really, I've been really intentional about like collecting. That's the problem, because I had a lot of shit. But curating a closet that really speaks to my personal style, and it came from like, I went through a thrifting stage. So I have like vintage stuff, thrifted stuff. I have things that I've collected over the years, like really staple pieces. I was really intentional about like creating a style for myself, and yeah, so seeing all of my clothes be gone, and really kind of in big chunks of time, like, was hard. I never was a person who, and I was pretty much more or less around the same size for most of my adult life, like maybe fluctuating up and down a couple sizes, but for the most part, I've been the same size for my whole life, my whole adult life. So all of my clothes are gone. I didn't have like clothes from before when I was smaller and like gained weight. Like, I've never had clothes this size. So I literally had nothing, and losing everything at one time, knowing that I'm potentially still changing, right? Like, I'm only 6 months out. Because I wasn't a person who like lost a lot of weight really fast, I'm assuming that I'm not gonna be the person who like loses all of their weight in the first 9-10 months, and then kind of like their body starts to reshape in the last however many months of the process. Like, for me, it's been like a really, from like month 1, like a steady 10-15 pounds after that initial, post-surgery. You lose a lot of like everything. And then, but since then, for me, it's been like very consistent every month. And so I think that's going to be my process. Don't know where I'm going to end up. So I haven't gotten to the point where I'm buying clothes at this stage, because I know in a month or two they're not going to fit anymore. And so I'm trying not to like have the trauma. That sounds really dramatic, but whatever. The trauma of like establishing a style and then starting over. So what I have been doing in this time, this entire process, has been like buying like did I flash y'all? Buying like athletic stuff. Like I have, I always am in athletic leggings or whatever. So Fabletics and really the Gap now, because I can buy clothes at the Gap. But those have been the places that I have been buying athletic clothes, because my sizes have been going down with those, but because they're so like tight and compressed, I can kind of go between sizes with those. So I have like I'm now kind of at the point where I've transitioned out of my original athletic clothes, but the clothes that I bought for the most part since surgery still kind of fit, or, I'll always buy a size lower because, stretch. So that has been whatever. I have some big things coming up, like Beyonce concert is coming up. I have a couple of concerts coming up in the next couple months, and so I haven't bought anything for them because I don't know exactly where I'm going to be at the time, but I'm getting stressed because it's Beyonce and you need to be thoughtful, but I don't know what to buy. Ugh. First world problems, but that's where I'm at. Overall, I don't regret it at all. Very grateful. That's the main kind of feeling that I've had this entire process. Has just been really grateful for the option, for the resources, for the time, for the mindset, materials to be able to do this. It's something that literally I've dreamed of my whole life, like not even being hyperbolic, like straight up. I was a kid. I've always been a fat kid. So it's just been a dream for me to like have my body be in alignment of my desires. And so very, very happy about that. Yeah, I would recommend it. Like, I know people always say the only thing that they wish is that they would have done it sooner. I actually don't wish that I would have done it sooner. I think I did it at the time that I needed to do it. I needed to be in a mental space, a financial space. I'm happy that I already have my kids, so I don't have to worry about like, that part. My kids are still small. Like, I really feel like I actually did it in an ideal time for me. Like, everything is kind of aligned in a way for it to make sense for me. So I'm excited. I don't regret it. I know people always question, last thing I'll say before I leave, because it's been 24 minutes. Loose skin. That's the thing that has come up. So yes, I've lost 80 pounds in surgery, but in the last year, 130. So I do have loose skin. Primarily, the majority of my loose skin is here in my arms. But really, honestly, I have it everywhere. Like, I've lost probably the most weight around my waist. But really everywhere, honestly. My general shape is the same. It's really funny. My shape is exactly the same. It's like this is gonna sound really nerdy, but like the standard deviation of my body is just going smaller, but it's the same composition, like, which is fine because I've always liked my shape. But I say that to say I've kind of lost weight pretty evenly everywhere. So I do have loose skin pretty much everywhere, like my boobs, which are now those babies are gone, but it's fine. When I was a kid, I had small boobs, but even when I was my larger size, I didn't have big boobs. Like, I think I was a D cup, even at like my heaviest. So I knew those were gone. But anyway, I have loose skin everywhere is what the roundabout way to say. I've got it, but probably the most significant place I have it is my arms, because I have lost a lot of weight in my arms. I still have like some extra flesh down here, but in general, it's getting smaller and smaller because, as I said, I be in the gym, so I have muscles under there. But it's around my stomach too, my legs, right here. Honestly, it doesn't bother me. Like, that was a big fear of mine. It was a big thing that I thought about for way too long, honestly. A fear of like loose skin, which is whatever, who cares? I'm lucky that I have it. Like, I'd rather have loose skin than the extra flesh and the health stuff that was happening before I had surgery. So it is what it is. As far as getting surgery to remove it, I don't know. Right now, I don't feel a strong need to do so. Like, we'll see. Like, I'm not a person who loves the idea of extensive medical interventions, even though obviously I had surgery, so I'm just talking shit. But yeah, we'll see. Like, maybe if the time, opportunity, space, money, and safety are in alignment, maybe. But it's not something that preoccupies my life, to be honest. Like, well, maybe I'll feel different once I get to the end of the process, but right now, whatever. But yeah, so that's my 6-month update. Maybe I'll come back at 12 months. Maybe I'll come back at 9. I don't know. I ain't gonna hold nothing to it, because this is just extra, and it's more so for my own personal enjoyment later. So I'll come back when I feel the need. But yeah, I'm just really excited. Like, my cheeks hurt because I've been smiling this whole time. So I'm gonna go because I actually have a meeting in 10 minutes. So this was great. And I'll come back when I come back.